Green Frog. England is notorious for its chaotic weather. Though Sodor is usually very nice, even it isn't safe from this curse. Just when you think the weather will be lovely, it will be pouring rain the next minute. The engines especially find it annoying, if not for the uncomfortable cold, then for the countless delays caused by wet and flooded rails. Weather like this could also cause accidents, and today's victim was Percy. The poor engine was just pulling an empty train of trucks down the line, when... Oh! Oh, why me? Why? Don't worry, Percy. Sounds like help's on the way, remarked his driver. Please don't be Thomas. Please don't be Thomas. Please don't be Thomas. Aha, yes, laugh it up, why don't you? Can you get me out of here already? The rescue didn't take too long, but Percy was too stiff to move on his own, so Thomas helped him back to the station, where a curious Oliver so happened to be waiting, and just like Thomas, he couldn't help but grin. Why, hello, Percy. What happened to you? Percy was just about to reply, but Thomas quickly butted in. Some points malfunctioned and sent him down an old siding. Gave him a one-way trip into the ditch. It's not my fault, Percy blasted out. Those points were as old as Edward, and the weather only made them worse. You could have fooled me, Oliver replied. I heard a lot from the big engines about your previous endeavors with water. In fact, you've gone for a swim so many times, I'm surprised we don't call you Percy the Green Frog. Has a nice ring to it, howled Thomas. Both engines erupted steam filled with laughter, while Percy had none to give. At least I'm not stupid enough to let trucks push me down a turntable well. No, replied Oliver. Just past a danger sign. Ah, speaking of which, that's my sign to go. Good day to you, Percy the Green Frog. You'll get yours, old Ollie, Percy blasted out, but Oliver was already too far away to hear him. A few days later, Oliver was just talking to Douglas while doing his run, when the station master came up to him with important news. Hey Ollie, glad I could catch you before you left. Listen, the Farquhar boys are filling in a huge order of stone, and they're going to need some extra buffers. Do you think you can start helping them tomorrow before your first train? Oliver thought about this for a moment. Sure. I think Duck wouldn't mind going first for a few days. Besides, don't really get many passengers around these times due to this boiler sludge weather, so I wouldn't mind a change of pace. There's a good engine, remarked the station master. I'll tell the lads at Farquhar to expect you in the morning. The station master looked grateful, but as Oliver trundled off, he started having second thoughts. Maybe it would have been better to ask Duck instead. I'm sure he'll be alright. His concern was justified. Anyone who knew Oliver on Sodor knew that he didn't handle trucks very well. He would only ever take them if everyone else was busy, which unfortunately was today. After he and Toad marshaled their first load, everyone from Toby to Mavis warned them to be careful, especially since there was a downpour the previous night, but only Toad ever paid attention. Fortunately, he was brought along to make sure Oliver did. Remember, Mr. Oliver, don't go too fast on wet rails. You know how dangerous it is. Yes, Toad, I'm aware. Sheesh, you've reminded me ever since we left the quarry. Toad's coddling wasn't the only thing keeping Oliver on edge. The cold air and dull sky made him hard to handle, and the trucks weren't any help either. Are we there yet? Come on, Oliver, you're way too slow. We want Thomas, or Percy, or Toby. Shut up, barked Oliver, or I'll dump the lot of you in the flood. Well, actually, I was going to say sea. No, said his driver alarmingly. Look! Up ahead, the track was being sat on by a large body of water. Oliver's driver slammed on the brakes, but the wet rails and heavy trucks made them useless. On! The silly things yelled. Stop! 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 Oliver yelled frantically. His brake blocks felt like they could catch fire, but they would be cooled down soon enough. Oh! The moment Oliver jumped into the pool, it became a hot springs. The impact made short work of his fire, meaning he could do nothing but feel the stinging pain as the cold water clashed with his warm boiler. "What's the matter?" called out the leading truck. "Can't swim?" And the rest followed with a chorus of laughter. By the time help was on its way, Oliver and his bath had only just cooled down. His wincing had been replaced with shivering as he longed for his nice dry shed. Then, as he saw who came to rescue him, it immediately turned to sour embarrassment. Well, bust my boiler, Toby. What on earth is that? Why, it looks like Oliver. Couldn't you see? Well, I can see just fine, but he could have fooled me. From where I'm standing, I thought he was a big green frog. My mistake, Oliver, but you look so convincing. You even brought a toad along with you. Everyone burst into laughter, and even Toad couldn't help but chuckle. As for Oliver, well, he doesn't mention green frogs now, let alone go swimming with them.